money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Calm moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Calm moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. I'm really just running for money. I'm love flow, Joe chasing the check. I'm really gonna run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Calm moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Calm moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Bigger the bag, bigger the be one of the all in the same. Broke it, end of the month, flow, Joe, kill, mo, run it up, keep clean. Never let them touch, fits like temper, tantrums. Girl, come back up, all in the club, and bring all your girlfriends. Girl hopping up about a Pearl 6, Louis speed bag glued to her wrist. She was getting paid, she ain't think a thing, but she was thinking slay. We blade thicker than a snigger bag. Talking about she don't come with no baggage. All in her bag, I probably should. I'm really just running for money. I'm love flow, Joe chasing the check. I'm really gonna run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Calm moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed.
This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears. With that, let's get out to venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Standing by with the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
First opened way back in 1924, but renovated in 2002. There's a look inside venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Bears team entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they come into this one knowing it's been a while since tasting victory. They've dropped 4 in a row.
Can they remember what it was like to win a game? In these types of situations, you're looking for someone to inspire you, and it doesn't have to be one of your best players either.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This will be taken short. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll have Lamar Jackson calling the shots, the former Heisman Trophy winner from Louisville.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Let's go! 3-19!
They go play action here on 1st down. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. A big play there on the first play of the game. 69 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a first-and-goal situation.
Hurry up, here we go.
From the gun, it's Jackson. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Vikings take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive.
The losing streak had taken on a life of its own, and I think it infiltrates a team when you're on that much of a slide. But this group has managed to focus, come out early, and put a touchdown on the board. They look like they mean business in this one.
They do. Now the key, holding on to that attitude, because, man, that streak has been a struggle for them. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Carlson now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The numbers there for Howard a week ago. 12 carries, 51 yards, and a touchdown.
And to me, the goal is the exact same thing as last week. Get him the ball early and often. I think he's got another big game in him in this one. Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run-blocking abilities, and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big game.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash, too.
Watch him now, Barney, Barney.
On first, they go right back to Howard. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Well, not a lot of flash and dash on that play. 2nd and 2, and they hand it to the big man. And he ends up picking up a first down. A little bit of gray area there, though. But I think what they thought, hey, we hand it to him here. If we come back and don't get it, we still got another down to try and pick it up.
All right, here we go. 319! 319!
And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
This is Howard on second down, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's third down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
Detroit! Detroit! Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
Back to throw here. That's complete to the Memphis man, Anthony Miller. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Well, they go with a slant that time, 15 yards at a first down. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on third down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
Back to throw now on first down. He goes full extension, and he's got it. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post route run, they do not like to let it end without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go get it, and he got it. A first trip to the red zone for the Bears. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18.
Detroit! Set! 3-19! 3-19!
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney! Over!
He'll look to throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. Daniil Hunter. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. 7-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis back with you as it's Bears football here to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down.
Over!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line.
And Brandon, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney! Over!
They'll set up a throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Trey Burton, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bears are an extra point away from tying the football game. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So that drive, 12 plays in length, and the end result is a Bears touchdown. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Now Jackson on first down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
First down.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're marching off another 15 against your squad.
So the face mask puts them in even better shape than they were in, as they'll have a short field here on 1st and 10.
Here we go now.
Handoff comes to Cook. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Hurry up, here we go. Green.
On second down, Cook. And an alley to run. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Nice job there finding room to maneuver, and he worked his way into another first down. And look, they had great field position to start, but boy, they've done a nice job taking advantage of it.
Now they're just hoping to cap it off. Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue, 90.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a game. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Danny Trevathan there to bring him down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Jackson looking to throw on third. And this is going to be caught. No, they say it's incomplete. Brings up 4th down. Solid coverage by the Bears D.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a first down. Threw a fastball when that wasn't necessary. Incomplete pass. One of these quarterbacks going to learn. You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
Daniel Carlson now for the Viking field goal. Wilson able to put this one through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
This is fielded at the goal line. And not a great return here. He'll make it back only to the 10-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
The tackle made there by Harrison Smith.
Gone!
2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Soldier Field following this short break. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Burton. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. The result, a first down as the quick slant gets him 14.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
That's caught inside the 20. It's a big-time play there for the Bears. 56 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone.
Detroit! Over!
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. His throw caught at about the 5. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. Mike Gillislee, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bears are in for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Marty looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Santos with the extra point, and the lead is now 14-10. Santos out now. He'll kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now out comes Minnesota. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure If something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. They start the drive with Cook. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Here we go. 3-19.
On 2nd down, here's Jackson. Over the middle, complete. That's Morgan. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Jackson on 1st down. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Set. Green, 39.
From midfield now, here's Jackson. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Final 12 seconds of the half now, as they've got it 1st and 10.
Watch 80. Watch 80. Over. Watch him now, Barney. Hut.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time. And it's 2nd down. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Over. Watch him now, Barney. Hut.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. So we come upon halftime here at Soldier Field with the Bears out in front, as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We'll begin our trip around the NFL with an interesting one right off the bat, and it's the Lions who are out in front as they...
All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. On the return, it's Tariq Cohen. And now running right through it. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? you adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show him one thing, hit him with something else.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll set up to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes it is
pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
No. Check. Patriot.
Now it's Jackson. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
There's Jackson on 3rd and long. They go with a shuffle pass, and it's complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
And a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And he will forge his way forward only up to the 2-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
He's got a man complete. A big gain of 39 on 3rd. Well, you said you would be very hesitant to throw the football there. They opted to do it. It worked.
I don't know why you listened to what I said, because obviously I was way wrong on that one. Telepathically, though, you were sensing that I was thinking, maybe I should throw the ball.
Oh, yeah, no, you really meant that they should have thrown it.
Yeah,
they did.
That's what I meant, even though I didn't say.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And he'll get this down only to about the 46. The All-Pro in 2 positions. Khalil Mack there to make the stop.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Jackson, and he's able to find Diggs. The Stephon Diggs. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody has that ability?
And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6.
Boy, that route is really tough to cover because if they're running it correctly, you think it's really going to be a slant.
Yeah, well, we talk all the time about how it's tough to execute offensively, but you're saying, don't forget, it's tough to cover for the defense, too.
Yeah, the number one thing that you're taught is to not get caught inside or get beat inside. So you guard that a little bit more. So that gives you a little bit more space to operate outside if you start your move initially inside if you're a receiver.
Carlson now to add the extra point. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now 17-14. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Carlson now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He's likely still kicking himself from the interception last drive that wound up leading to a go-ahead score.
And he's going to assume all that came with that one, all right? That's all on him, but he also knows he's got to erase it from his mind and get back out there. This drive, very important.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
It's really come into vogue to talk about the different gaps that a defense tries to attack in an offensive line. And most of the time we're talking about blitzes. How many times have you heard double A-gap blitz? But where is the A-gap? It's the space between the center and the guards, either side. So when you're having a double A-gap blitz, that's 2 guys coming through that gap. In this situation, though, that A-gap wasn't open for the defense to exploit. The offensive line took care of it, protected it, and moved the defensive guys out of the way to allow for that nice run.
That's going to set him after this. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard.
Watch it now, Barney!
They pitch out to Howard. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. Anthony Barr in on the tackle.
Gone! Over!
On third down, he'll drop to throw. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A pickup of 24 on the third down conversion.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends. Back now at Soldier Field. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point, just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. On first down, they run with Howard. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Watch it now, Barney!
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
Over! Watch it now, Barney! No, check! Patriot!
They'll give to Howard. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Now back to throw. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 3rd down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their route, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
Detroit! Watch it now, Barney!
On the handoff, this is Howard. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Detroit!
Again, it's Howard. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run.
Now, check. Patriot! Watch it now, Barney!
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. Sliding out of the pocket. And he fires one, but incomplete. Well, you got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide-open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. And that one, my goodness, that was almost too easy.
Yeah, and you're not getting too many attempts shorter than that one. I don't think anyone got a finger up.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Robert Alford. And he will bring it back to the 4-yard line. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defense coordinator says, we're going to call this Be Who You Are defense. D linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware of anything. And secondary, you play the pass. That way, you're all set, ready for whatever they put out there.
The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team, because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Mike Gillislee with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Bears have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. Now, he's given him a little jolt, just gave him the lead there, but 2 TDs now in the game.
And that jolt puts them in the lead. What a terrific job by him. He is carrying the ball and simply saying, I want to win.
And now he's hoping his defense has that mentality as they try to hang on to that lead. Santos out now. He'll kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. And the interception that ended their previous drive, that might be one we look back on and say that was the turning point of this game.
Hey, partner, guess what? There's still time for a few more turning points in this ball game. They're only one score down.
Yeah, true. We could have some twists and turns. Stay tuned. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw. Throw left side, complete to Ross. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. Back to throw. Able to shake him off. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. 1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Hurry up, here we go. 3:19.
back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked by Kevon Seymour. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Leopard! Watch it now, Barney! Watch it now, Barney!
That one looks like he'll throw here. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. Another timeout called by the Vikings now. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. It's first and goal and a late touchdown at this stage. Could officially salt this one away.
All right, now, lucky 56. No, check, Patriot.
Trying to punch it in with Howard. Diving for the end zone, and the ball's knocked out. And this belongs to the Vikings.
All I know, partners, that with every play call that came in, there was a little discussion about, hey, we can seal this bad boy. We can really put ourselves in a great spot to take total control, and yet they find a way to cough it up.
Yeah, the two-score game up. Opportunity eludes them, and now a chance for the other side to come back here.
Yeah, that means defense has to go out there and make some plays themselves. So we call sudden change. Let's see if the defense is mentally ready to take care of it.
He's back to throw. Wiggles free. The left side caught by Diggs. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. He'll look to throw. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. First down now, but that clock rolling. And with 45 seconds showing, he spikes the football.
Let's go! 3-19!
Now Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's third down. Counting down to 30 seconds remaining. Throwing now is Jackson. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Got to be careful here. They need to move quickly, but it's also fourth. One last shot for Jackson. Now a desperation throw. Deep downfield. And that's caught inside the 35. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Bears, they climb back to 500 now at 3 up and 3 down. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, the losses are piling up as they drop to 1-5 now. And now they'll head to the bye week as they'll be back in action in Week 8. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back. Carry it like I'm moving the. I told him the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning. Skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning. I had me a by the morning. I had me some breaks by the morning. I had a sis by the morning. I got on a meat on the morning. The rats keep me up on the podium. I had a in my shoulder. You got a picture me. You got to picture me. Pacific ice on my ocean. Ready for war like I'm Russian. Ladies should never the luggage. My diamonds they tussling. My neck and my belly on. They call it for me and they. You want me like me and I look. Yeah. Her Rex on her. Yeah. B-Rex better calm down. Yeah. If you go around, come around. Yeah. Whole squad. Yeah. Squad goes on the. Yeah. Make some orange gel on my toes. Yeah. Farrakhan glass for the trolls. Yeah. You can go and get mad. Jumping in the bed with the 2 dot team. And who's you? My shawty pulling up with a real bad. You too. Dripping my swag. Something to do with that. I got the streets on my back. Carry it like I'm moving the. I told him the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning. Skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning. I had me a by the morning. I had me some breaks by the morning. I had a sis by the morning. I got on a meat on the morning. The rats keep me up on the podium. I had a in my shoulder. You got a picture.
You gotta picture me. Send me calling. Ready for war like Korea. Headlining shows out in Poland. You should be cleaning my